Hey guys, it's Sarah, and I'm about to get started on my first layout using the February kit for the Not Just for Boys Kit Club. And I wanted to show you, I'm going to bring in a couple things from my stash, so I just wanted to show you that real quick because I'm going to be doing a layout about Rodrigo Blankenship, who is a Georgia Bulldogs. Well, he's going pro now. Good for him, he should. But he's the kicker for Georgia for the past few years, and he is amazing. And he won an award, or yeah, he won like a big award, and he's like the highest scoring player in Georgia history because of how often he would make field goals and extra kicks and all that stuff. That's how good he was. He rarely missed. So he's amazing. But I'm going to be bringing in a couple things from my stash here just because I need to play off the red because the uniforms for Georgia are red and silver and black. So it does go with this kit, and I do have some, most of what is going to be on here is going to be from the kit, but I am going to bring in a little bit of red from my stash, just with a couple little strips of pattern paper and cardstock and stuff, and then I'm going to bring in like a little football flare thing here, and then some like one or two Georgia stickers here that my husband got for me. So these things will be from my stash, but then everything else will be from the kit, but I just need these to bring in the actual feel for the Georgia team and stuff like that. So I just wanted to go ahead and preface that before I get started. So these things will be separate from my stash. And then I'm also going to use a couple of these crocheted stars that I got from their shop, but these are no longer available. So I did show them in my unboxing, but when I went to go look to link them, they were gone. So these are no longer available, but keep your eye out. Maybe something similar to this will come back again. So this is stuff that is just mine, and the rest of it will be from the kit. And I need to go through here and see what I'm going to use. So let's get to work.
All right, so I'm starting off with my paper, and I know which piece of paper I want to use, and that is this large paper that has a wood grain pattern, and it's got these large stars on the side. And I wanted to use that because it is going to bring a whole lot of the feel of what I'm looking for from this, and you'll see how I do that here in just a second. And I'm also going to use that polka dot paper as a layering piece, and I just really like the distressed look of it. Now I'm going to use this star die cut around this picture, but I had to reprint the picture because it wasn't, it was almost like a test for my Canon selfie because I finally am using that again. And I needed to make sure that it worked and was going to print correctly and everything. So when I printed it, it's supposed to be a square picture, but it printed it as a 4x6. So I knew I needed to reprint it anyway. So I reprinted that, and now it's going to fit nicely. And I'm going to use that star die cut from the kit to highlight that picture. All right, so I cut that piece down, and then I'm going to use this little scalloped border strip from my stash here, and I'm just going to start kind of placing some things and seeing how everything's going to work. And I'm like, yep, I like that. And so I'm going to cut this down now, and I'm going to back it on one of those pieces of red cardstock, and then I will back all of that. I'll trim it down a little bit, and then I'll back all of that on here. So it's gonna all just be kind of layered up. So I just need to see where I need to cut down the cardstock a little bit more. And my pencil broke, so I had to go find a new one. It literally broke on me. I was like, great. All right, so now I'm gonna cut down this picture a little bit to fit onto this cardstock here. And I'm not cutting out, obviously any of the picture, just a little bit of the sky that we don't really need in there. And I want it to be a little bit smaller. So I'm gonna put this on this piece of red cardstock, and then my pictures are matted. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down here. So what I'm going to do is use my ATG, and I probably could have used my fine liner to do this, but I ended up just using my ATG and it worked just fine after I put these two pieces down here. And yeah, and now thinking about it, I definitely could have just put the cardstock down and then just stuck this over it right on top of the layout, but I don't know. I did it this way and it's fine. However you want to do it is going to work. So I put a little bit of ATG around the frame, and then I'm going to put that right on top and have it line up. and then I will stick the entire thing down onto the layout, put a little bit up here on the letters and stuff, and I love the distressed look of this die cut. It's really cool. So put that down, and then I'll put this one right next to it. I'm going to kind of overlap it just a little bit because I can't line it up because of the distressed edges on the die cut. It wasn't going to go straight, so I just tried to make that one as straight as I possibly could. And now I'm going to use my little strips of scrap paper from my stash here just to bring out a little bit more red around the layout. So I'm just going to put a couple little strips there, nothing too overwhelming. And then I'm going to pull this package out here from the kit, and I really like these labels. So I have a large black one that I'm just going to cut in half. I don't need the entire thing. I just wanted to peek out a little bit from up here. And then I'm also going to use one of these arrows, and I think I'm going to go with a lighter color because I think that one blends in a little bit too much. Yeah, so I go with the lighter gray. And then I'm also going to use a tag here, and I think about this one possibly, but I don't know, it wasn't exactly what I wanted. So I'm going to go with the light gray as well. This is the same color as that arrow, so it'll bring that color up here. So I just cut the top part of it off to add that behind there. And now let's work on the title. Okay, so this title is called Respect the Specs, and that's kind of a little saying that happened with him because he wears really thick glasses. And if I wanted to use all of the E's that I needed, I would have used the entire package, like all the E's in the entire package, and then I wouldn't have any E's for the rest of my layouts. And I was like, I don't think I really want to do that. So instead of using an E for the middle word, I'm just going to go ahead and use some of these here. These are some letter stickers I got at Walmart quite a while ago, like a really long time ago. And it's just a little package of word stickers. They're pretty cheap. They're not very thick. They're not good quality, but they work. So I'm going to go ahead and spell out the with those, and then the rest of them will be good. So now I only have one E left in my package, so I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do after this. But and then I use a Georgia G, and I'm going to kind of round the word around it, so you'll see when I put it down what I end up doing. So I'm just going to go ahead and start putting this down, and then I will put the G there, and then the small little letter stickers are going to go around it and kind of curve around the top of it. So it's Respect the Specs. And then I will finish up with the rest of the thickers here. And now I'm going to use 3 of the gray crochet stars. I really like these a lot, and obviously goes in with the star element here. And then I will put that little football flare thing down next to the title as well. And then I'm going to go through the die cut pack here, and I'm going to pull a couple things. I found an arrow that I like, and then I found this one here that says favorite guy. And this was interesting because it's spelled favorite with a U, which is the European spelling for it. And I'm in America, so that'll be interesting to have that in my scrapbooks. But I mean, it's not going to stop me from using it. Like, I'm going to use it still. And then I had that little gray ruler type. So I went ahead and put that up on top too. And, you know, they measure football in yards. So I went ahead and just put that up there as kind of like a measuring tool. You always measure like how many yards the, you know, the kicks are and stuff. And so I'm going to put that up there too. And just go ahead and start getting my die cuts down. And yeah, and then for the stars, I'm going to use glue dots because the crochet is, you know, like a woven material. So it's not going to just go on, you know, nice and flat. It has to really have some good adhesive on the back of it. So I'm using glue dots for this. I'm putting 3 glue dots on each star just to keep it in place. I'm going to put these around in 3 different areas here. And I'm going to make sure I put one inside the frame there because I feel like there's a lot of red space around the frame. So I want to cover up a little bit of it there. And then I'll also use glue dots for the wood buttons that came in the kit. These are the star buttons from the February kit. So I'm going to go ahead and use these along next to the crocheted stars as well. And I really like the natural elements that that brings in with the crochet and with the wood. And it just, you know, brings some nice texture. And now I think I'm going to go ahead and do my journaling. And I'm going to do my journaling on some white cardstock. And I'm going to just measure out, you know, how far to write. So I stop. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to write it out. I have to go find my pen because I swear I can't find my pen. I can't find my good scissors. My children have been in my room a little bit too much and they're taking my stuff. So I have to be on top of them with that. But I'm going to go ahead and do my journaling on here, and I'm leaving enough room for me to cut them into strips, because I'm going to cut them into strips and then layer them right next to the word star, right next to that die cut there. And that will be where my journaling goes. So I have them. I'm just going to go ahead and freehand cut them. So I'm cutting off a little bit in between, as you can see, so that I can really make sure there's some space in between. I don't want them to be butting up against each other at all. So I'm just making sure I have a little bit of space, and then a couple of them, you know, I'm going to cut off the ends if I don't go all the way to the end. And then that will be good. And to put these down, I'm going to use my quick dry adhesive. So just a little line of adhesive down there. I could use my ATG if I wanted to, but sometimes with the small strips, you'd have to really like tuck it under sometimes, and it's just easier to use the solid glue here and just pop them on. And I really like the way the top one it's gonna go under a little bit of that crocheted star, and I really like the way that that looks. And that is going to complete my layout, guys. So I really hope you enjoyed it. I loved scrapbooking a more masculine layout, and you know, this is definitely a boy and it's about football, so it goes really nicely, and I was happy to use up that large star frame. It just goes perfectly. Let me know if you guys have any questions. If you want to check out these kits, I will have a link to their website down below, so make sure you go do that, and I will see you guys again soon. Have a great day.